Yo, what's good? What's good? Starting a couple minutes early today. And I'll give it a few minutes for everyone to hop on here. What I need to get is a screen with the schedule on it. That's what I need to do. So we'll see about doing that. We should be good, guys. If you can hear me, let me know in the chat. Let me know that you're here. Say hello, so we can get our sound checks out of the way, because you never know. End up talking to myself accidentally. That's not what you want to do as a streamer. It's not what you want to do. Today is Tuesday, March 7th, 2023. We're going to do an update. If you're watching this in a recording, we're going to do an update on a bunch of the stuff that we talked about yesterday. If you guys set alerts, then you got a bunch of alerts triggered today on, I don't know if we talked about British pound, but I know we talked about Australian dollar, 2 levels yesterday. We outlined 67.43 and 67.06. So prior to the news, those highs were taken, and then cash rate news hit, and the lows that were outlined were taken as well. So both of those were smacked, and today it has continued its descent into the abyss for a whopping 156 pips, plus or minus spread. So there's your first update. We'll go over a couple more. Unless I don't have chat turned on. I should have chat turned on. Let me see. Yeah, the chat shouldn't be disabled. Yeah, if you guys are here, let me know. Let me know. I want to double check that on my phone too, just to make sure. Before we get into the rest of it. What the fuck is going on here? Oh shit. Okay, so let me refresh this real quick. Because the chat, oh, there's the chat. Okay, man, I've been having technical difficulties all fucking day, and to be honest, I am over this shit, dude. I am over it. What's good? Soul from France. I'm on that cell. What were your TPB? I would hold on for a little bit longer. If you're an Australian dollar, I would put an alert on the dollar index at 105.64. And if the dollar trades into that today, maybe tomorrow, if the dollar trades up and into that, I would probably go ahead and collapse that for Australian dollar. We met a couple different lows today on higher time frame. 66.29 and 65.91. Oh, did we hit that? No, not yet. 65.84. Okay, so I guess 65.80 would probably be my final TP, but anything over 100 pips and you're blessed. You know what I mean? You're blessed. So it's really up to you. You know, it's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor or anything like that. So whatever your plan suggests, you know, but very significant moves for Australian dollar. Thanks guys for the sound checks. Appreciate that. Lots of alerts. What's good? Oh fuck, man. New Zealand. Let's go, baby. 61.30. I know that was outlined. Schmacked as well. Okay, we talked about that. We talked about how we took some highs back in here, hit a retracement, or we went lower, retracement, lower. That was last night's retracement during London, and then the schmack staying down to those lows. So you definitely got the New Zealand alert if you put it down there. I didn't for some reason. I thought I did. I guess I didn't, but I was watching it either way. I was watching everything. So let's see. Australian dollar smacked both of those. New Zealand smacked 61.30. What else did we talk about? We pulled up Dow Jones 33 550 or 33 350. That was way overshot by a long shot. 33 350 is about right there. We talked about that yesterday. Notice what the highs were too. Remember that gap we outlined yesterday on that 1 minute time frame? Remember this shit? Remember this right here? From 33,505 to 506. You remember that, right? Of course you do. It's in the recording anyway. What was today's high, ladies and gents? Let's zoom in on that. Look at that. Look at that right there and right there. Look how precise that is, man. Now, I didn't have an order there anymore. I wouldn't have traded that given the time. But for sake of studying, look at that. Look at that, bro. You can't deny we outlined that shit yesterday. That is disgusting. Disgusting. That same imbalance, right? Right there. Gap within an imbalance, which also was inside that mitigation. So you see how we walked that down? Mitigation, imbalance, gap. And that ends up being the wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Come on, man. That is one hell of a follow-up from yesterday. S&P, same thing. Those same lows. 40.40 was a target that was also outlined on Twitter today that I was looking for 40.40. Obviously, we're in the 39.90s, so we way overshot that. And then NASDAQ, same thing. Those lows over here at 12,275, overshot pretty heavily. So pretty much everything we talked about went the way that we wanted. So study that. Study these things. Okay. Short covering possible for today. To be honest, I don't know. The Dow looks like a falling knife. Pretty bad. I tried to short NASDAQ earlier today. I didn't get filled. I was a little disappointed on that. I had an order right here at 12,250. I was gonna short that with a stop. Shit, I don't remember. Might have been 1280 or 1285. 285, sorry. And then 12,200 was first, and then that low right here would have been the last part. No, that's a 1 to 2. Maybe it was 72. I don't know. I canceled it and it's not in there anymore. But it was based off of this higher 5-minute imbalance. This right here, what it did react off of, excuse me, was the 2-minute. And that was a very nice response. Some lows right here, Market rallied thinking that the bottom was set. We drift lower, we attack, or we start to attack those lows, excuse me, and then we we get really close. 12,216, then we rally, barely trade into that, and then rip ass to the downside, and that would have been enough for today. That would have been beautiful, but unfortunately it just wasn't filled, man. So it is what it is, and that's fine. But yeah, as far as like what we're gonna do the rest of today, man, going long right now, I don't know. It looks, anyone trying to long this right now, I think is getting their ass handed to them big time. So guys, real quick, I would greatly appreciate it if you appreciate the follow-ups that we've done so far. Go ahead, guys, and like the video and make sure to subscribe as well. My subscribe button's not fucking working. Let's see if that works. There we go. Hit the like button and make sure to subscribe if you aren't subscribed already. I guess my other buttons aren't working either. Just like at the bottom right of your screen, my only Instagram is at John Fibonacci, so make sure you follow me on Instagram as well. I talk a lot of shit on my stories, and we'll go over one of those today as well. I was talking last night about some things, and I want to follow up on that as well. And yes, I did grab one baby picture, and I did grab a photo of the silver, so I'll show you that as well. Okay, Lorenzo from Italy, blood in the streets. You're gonna sell on NASDAQ. That's really good. That's really good, but just be careful. Don't hold on too long. I mean, it's your trade. You do what you want. But today's a nice, beautiful down day so far. I think we're gonna close lower, obviously. That should be. But yeah, we just took 2 areas of liquidity, so we'll see how it goes from here. Meaning, the lows that I had right there, and then that one right there. So we kind of have been just chilling around that level here. So we'll kind of see what we do. But am I favoring longs? Probably not. Probably not. This thing looks like Rocky in the 5th round when he's on the floor having envisions. You know what I mean? Like, this just got beat. It just got beat. So I wouldn't try to long anything today. I'd likely wait. What's good, Allie? Am I still going live at 7 p.m? Yes, later on. Yes. Reversal as dollar reaches buy side liquidity. Well, yeah, that's what I had mentioned a little bit earlier. 105.64, and obviously it would probably likely trade above that. There's going to be, I don't think it would just hit 64 and then trade lower, but I think there's liquidity resting there from that daily time frame right there, from the high of January 6th 2023. What else did we talk about? I think we talked about gold and silver. We set alerts on silver. Now, I didn't say I was bullish per se. I said to mention, or to have an alert here for a later date for the equal highs on silver, but we're probably going to get there for quite some time. And I also had mentioned that gold had diverged there. You know what I mean? And I don't know if I mentioned this or not yesterday. If I did not, then that's on me. However, those equal lows are still here from March 2nd. So that was 5 days ago at 1830. There was some equal lows right there. So, you know, it's the same shit. Divergence, breakdown, retracement, attack, liquidity there, as well as other areas. So it was just today. I think it was still a great day overall. I still think it was great. And just so you know, for like the long term, right? Like, why am I buying silver? I'm buying more silver. Actually, I did the other day. Just because, based off the monthly time frame, I had this back sometime last year, and we had a beautiful mitigation opportunity back in August of last year. It's about 5-6 months ago, something like that. But when we were at 18, dipping below into the 17s, silver and gold, well, metals period, the premiums were so bad. I mean, the premiums were fucking terrible, dude. Terrible. I mean, it was so far over spot, it was ridiculous. The premiums right now, I think, are not as bad. They're not completely terrible. But if you're super long-term bullish on silver, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, 7 down weeks out of the last 8 weeks. You know what I mean? So it's about a 20% or 18% discount from the highs of 24.30s, right? So with that being said, we have an imbalance here too on the weekly that it's now reaching into. So it's just, I like to buy on the way down. Okay, but since it is physical and it's not you know, margined, leveraged, or anything like that, to me, I don't care if it goes lower. Like if we get down to 18 and 17 again, that's fine. I'll just buy more. Like that is a super long-term thing. I will likely never sell silver, the physical silver, unless we get above 30. Okay, but that could take years, so it's fine. Like it's not a big deal. Okay, so with that being said, I'll show you. I'll get into that first. And dude, fucking every song is on different volume, man. That's crazy. Anyway, so here is a couple of the ones I have. I'm not including like the brick that I have. I'm not gonna pull that out. It's pretty fucking heavy too. And I included the Sharpie for a size reference, okay, because most people know, you know, how big a Sharpie is in their hand. So there it is. These top two right here is the same one. Like these two are the same. So one side is with this eagle and the other side is whoever that is. Okay, so those, it's just 1 and 1. All right, now the bottom two is the same one that I showed you yesterday, that Hydra of Fauci, Pelosi, and I think Powell, or I don't know, it's really hard to tell. There's that one, and this other one is actually a Doge coin. So it's still silver, but it's actually the other side is the Doge dog, or whatever that's called, and then this one here is just a regular or it might be Silvertown Eagle, whatever, I don't know. I got this a long time ago, so I don't remember the name, but that's just in the back just has like not really anything, so I didn't do any flip side on that. And the opposite side, okay, so as mentioned, there's that Doge, if you can see it, the dog. Tried to do my best with the lighting. I can only, when I zoom in, it kind of blurs things and pixelates it a little bit, so I think it looks better zoomed out like this. But there's your Doge, what's the name, and then the other side, inflation is coming. Okay, and if you ever buy silver or if you buy gold, this looks way better in person than it does in pictures. Okay, like it looks clean and crispy and awesome, and the pictures really don't do all that much justice. Also, the 10 ounce, I took these out of the cases. There's these little plastic cases that they came in, and I took them out to show you, but I didn't. This one I think is like not ziplocked, but it's somehow enclosed, so I don't want to open it just to show you, so I left it in its packaging. But that's the 10 ounce, 10 troy ounces, and then a couple of the coins. And matter of fact, I just got an email today that the rest of them of what I bought the other day are on the way, so that'll be cool. I'll probably get that next week. I don't think that'll be here by Friday. That'll probably be here sometime next week, so we'll see how that goes. And then as far as the baby pictures go, I only have one, and it's me holding my dad's guitar. So, you know, you guys asked, there it is. Hopefully you can appreciate that. This, I mean, I look young, so this is probably, I was born at the tail end of 1993, so this is probably 1994 or 1995, because I look probably 2 years old or less. So either 94 or 95. So there is super, super young, 27 years ago, John Phipp. So hopefully you guys can appreciate that. So for those of you that are coming on here and, you know, say, well, damn, man, what the fuck? It says futures analysis. You showed me this baby, John. What the fuck? I know, but there it is. So now you've seen it. Now you've been shown. So as far as, let's say, upside objective, let's for argument's sake, if you were thinking about going long, what would the target even be? Because I'm looking for like equal highs and equal lows and stuff, or not lows for longs, but I'm just saying, like, I'm looking for areas of liquidity, and it's just like, you have a short-term high and then an imbalance above that, but I don't think that's enough for me. You know what I mean? I don't think that's enough for me. And the same thing with the other indices. S&P, same imbalance above a short-term high. So I could see that being met today, but I mean, look at the last 20, 35 minutes. It hasn't really rallied all that much. So the only thing I took today, and there's a long story and I'm not really going to get into it, but there was a really, really awesome trade on the Dow right here, right there, that. Okay, so now again, it was very, very short term, and you know, there was some technical difficulties, so I didn't get to do what I wanted to do. But we see at 911 and 916 there is a lower low on the Dow, and then obviously at 1022 with that candle closing there, even that one at 921, the 922 candle, okay, nice break of structure. So to me, that makes this 912 candle a potential long opportunity right there, and that's where I went long. Okay, now it did make a new high here a couple minutes later, but it spent a little bit of time there, and obviously you see what happens. So it has been crushed by far, but I think that was still a decent scalping opportunity. So if you look at these lows on the S&P, that's this one, 911 and 916. So you see slightly higher on the S&P. So that's why the one that traded lower, the one that made a lower low, that to me is the one that I like to trade for a mitigation. That was the reason for that. Unfortunately, it's just we've continued lower and lower all day, so it's fine. But I just, to keep answering your question, I can't make a case. I can't make a strong case for any long positions today. Not at least until the dollar takes that 105.60 whatever. So we'll see if we get up and above that, and then depending on what the dollar is going to do, maybe, but I wouldn't bank on it. Today's been massively bullish for dollar, massively bearish for indices, so I would just try and not catch a falling knife. That's just what today seems. So you remember the other day how we talked about the indices trading higher and higher all day, and I was saying that anyone trying to short they're just getting obliterated. Today's the inverse of that. You know, trying to go long, they did okay, and then we dropped down. Then there was a short-term low, we got a nice speed run higher, and then we keep drifting lower. You know what I mean? So it's like traders that are trying to catch the bottom or create these bottoms, they're just getting demolished, because we're just getting a little bit of upside, stronger down, or further downside, a little bit of upside, further downside. And if you look at it from a hindsight perspective, these short-term highs were just liquidity sweeps at the end of the day. You see that? So you see how the market jams up in there and then quickly comes all the way back down, right? In those couple of candles. Now, I'm not a fan of the candles themselves, right? Like the dojis or the butterflies and all that. But it's the context of, well, we're in a bearish market, and anyone who's been short, if they trailed their stop to this high or this one, they got taken out. So imagine being short, going, this is awesome. Oh shit, I got knocked out. Oh, now we continue lower. You know what I mean? Then it's like, rats. I'm not in. So I think we all know how that feels. But so down candle at the moment on this 5-minute chart. Slow to go higher, fast to go lower. Same thing with all the indices. Drifting higher. Maybe we bottom today, and then just nope. So it's a struggle. It's a struggle trying to go long. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Any thoughts on where to look if we wanted to enter on a retracement? The only time I'm going to enter on a retracement is if I still have a high probability target. So once equal lows or once a distinctive low is taken, I'm no longer going to trade that. I'm going to leave it alone, because once my high probability target is taken, then it no longer fits the criteria that I have for placing a trade. So no, I'd rather just say, all right, my target was hit, but I'm not in it. I'll just leave it alone. So there's that. All right, but anyway, I'll give you guys a quick discussion, and we'll be on here for maybe like another 20-25 minutes, and then I'll go ahead and hop off of here. It's not going to be like a super long session like yesterday. That's how Tuesdays and Wednesdays are going to be. They're not going to be all day, but the ones on Mondays and Fridays can be from like 1 to 2 or 12 Central to about 2 to 2:30. So about 2.5 hours on Monday and Friday. If you guys, can implement that into your schedule. So one thing I want to discuss with you guys is what I mentioned last night. And I really, the idea was inspired by this book that I'm reading, A Guide to the Good Life by William B. Irvine, which I've already told you guys about multiple times. And there was just a chapter, and it really just I said this to my chat yesterday, that philosophy sometimes just has a way of really just scrambling your brain around. It really makes you think about ideas, and that's pretty much what happened yesterday. My brain was just fried from being floored at the idea. So let me see. And I read a little bit more today too. I think it was it's chapter 17 on old age. And so he talks about how when we are young, we don't value things and we don't value our time because we know we have so much of it, or we think we have so much of it. But the older we get, to realize the less time that we have, So the more that we try to enjoy it and things like that. So there was a specific portion that I highlighted is such cases are tragic in as much as these people had it in their power and indeed still have it in their power to experience joy, but they either chose the wrong goals in living or chose the right goals but adopted a defective strategy to attain those goals. This is the downside of failing to develop an effective philosophy of life. You end up wasting the one life you have. So I thought about that for a minute and I was like, fuck, man. It's very similar in trading. If you don't have a trade plan, if you don't have a structured way of doing things, rules set, trade management, money management, whatever, all that, you know, then you waste your trading account, or in life, you get to the end of your life and you realize that you have wasted it. And it floored me because I was like, damn, there really are people out there who have wasted a lot of their life. There's a nice quote by Seneca. It's very short, or it might have been, I think it was Epictetus. I get them confused because that's, I mean, fuck. But I think it was Epictetus or Seneca. Damn it, I gotta Google it now because we gotta figure it out. But either way, the quote is, if a man knows not which port he sails, no wind is favorable. Who was that? I think that was Epictetus. Nope, it was Seneca. Okay. Either way, if a man knows not which port he sails, no wind is favorable. So what he's saying is that our life is like being out on the ocean. So if we set our sails a certain way to go a certain place or direction, right, then that's, you know, favorable winds will take us in that direction. But if we don't set our sails, or if we take them down and we're just out on the ocean, just floating around, whatever happens, happens. He's basically saying, look, you're living an aimless life. And when you get to the end of your life, whenever it may be, in your 30s, in your 40s, in your 80s, or maybe you live to 100, I don't know. But either way, he's basically, in the book, he's like, man, imagine that. I think we have a good connection. Is it? Let me know if it's lagging for you guys. I don't think so, but YouTube is telling me that it is. So if it's lagging, let me know. But forgot where I was going with that. Basically, no lag. Okay, appreciate that. You see, I told you technology all day has been fucking with me, dude. There was some shit that went on with one of the brokers from earlier. Now I got YouTube telling me that I'm lagging, but you guys are saying I'm not lagging. Like, bro, I'm so far over today. Oh man. But anyway, you got to have goals, you got to have ambition and all that, because otherwise, think about that for a minute. Think about if you, let's just say you had a week or two left to live. Would you be satisfied with how you've lived your life? Or would you go, oh shit, man, you know, I've been wasting a lot of it. Seneca also says that. He says that it's not that life is short, we just waste a lot of it. So I don't want to be that way. I don't want to get to old age and go, you know, I should have did this, I should have done that, should have read this book, should have streamed on YouTube, should have made a YouTube channel, you know? So hopefully that inspires you a little bit. And what I mentioned last night on my Instagram story, I'll read it to you real quick as we watch price continue lower, because I don't think we're going to reverse here at all. And we'll, matter of fact, we'll just pull up the dollar and nah, we'll do both. We will pull up the S&P, micros, and then we'll keep the dollar over here on the left as well. So we'll kind of watch both at the same time while I read this to you. So this is why I think we don't do exercises like what I'm telling you. Like, we don't think, well, what if I die tomorrow, or what if I die next week? Am I satisfied with life, or have I been aimless? I think there is a reason that a lot of us don't do that, and I think the typical 9 to 5 is a reason for that, or we use that as a reason not to do things, just like working out, or doing whatever it is. And so here's what I said. One of the many problems or challenges that people face with typical 9 to 5 jobs is that jobs take up a very large portion of the day. Personal development isn't as high on most people's priority list as it is for good traders and entrepreneurs. So with little time left for people to use how they choose to spend their time, reading and personal development gets placed on the shelf to collect dust. It gets placed on the back burner, if you will. And I'm doing my best to make the message loud and clear. Read books. School won't teach you anything. College might teach you a little bit. Generally, good education isn't public. It's becoming more public through podcasts and the internet, but there's also a lot of value in books, in text, especially the older ones. I'm 29 years old and I don't regret the time, money, and energy spent reading. Take it from me, get into reading early in life. And I also posted the same paragraph that I just read to you guys. And the last part is, hopefully you now understand my need for freedom. Schools robbed us of our childhood and formed our shitty way of thinking. But despite those things, I refuse to be a victim. And it's true that our time was stolen, but we must own our time and own our lives before someone else steals it. And that I would rather die than to live as a slave. So, one thing in this chapter that I just read as well is that the Stoics believe that you should not have a victim mentality, and that if you go through life with a victim mentality, then you are not going to live a happy life, which I think is absolutely true. And I didn't even know the Stoics had mentioned that until I started reading all this shit within the last year, maybe year and a half or two. Because I always thought that same thing as well. Because other people, like I know some people that really, really have a victim mentality. You know, woe is me. I think Bedros Keuilian posted a reel a little bit earlier today, very, very, very similar. You know, and that's just not what you want to be. Your life is going to be miserable if you always think that you're a victim. So in the beginning, I think it's okay. You know, if something happens, because definitely bad things can happen, and it's okay to, you know, say, oh, I'm a victim of this, I'm a victim of that in the beginning. But after a certain point, after a certain amount of time, you need to move past that. You need to move beyond that. I could continue to bitch at the fact that, you know, that high school was this and that teachers don't teach and it's all bullshit. You know, I could go on and on and on about that. But I try not to, because that was the past and I cannot change that. There's nothing I can do about that. But what I can do is focus on right now. I can focus on today. I can prepare for tomorrow, and I can prepare for a better life moving forward. And I can leave what happened in, 2006 to 2012, 2013. I could leave all of that behind, you know? So again, hopefully that sparks some thought. Hopefully it sparks some ideas for you guys to think about or to journal about. Hopefully you've journaled today. I have mine. I'm not done journaling in mine today though. I got more stuff I gotta write a little bit later after the market is closed though. Do you have a girlfriend? No, I do not. No, I do not. Do you? Do you have a girlfriend? Since we're asking all these personal fucking questions today. John Wick said it's the market. Yeah. Well, the market, I want to make the market my bitch, not my girlfriend, because there's a vast difference. You know what I mean? So, it's a joke. I know there's ladies on here. It's a joke. All right. But, what else do we got this week? I know we have some more news the rest of this week. And today was cool, but the technology today was just horrendous. So tomorrow we have non-farm employment change early in the morning. I don't know if I'm going to be up for that. Then we have Powell again testifying tomorrow at 9 a.m. So we have CAD and USD news both at 9 a.m. Central tomorrow. So USD CAD may end up finessing. So if you're a loony trader, Willow, I don't know if you're here. We brought up that USD CAD bullshit yesterday, which we're not going to do anymore. And then Friday we have a bunch of stuff. CAD unemployment rate and unemployment rate or dollar. So expect volatility tomorrow. Expect volatility on Friday, which will be fun. So looks like dollar's finna get ready to take that daily level. So let's see if we get some emphasis on that here now in the next I don't know, 20 minutes or so. Let's see if we get some actual emphasis to the upside, and let's see if the indices are going to continue to trade lower. And I'm not telling you to get in on anything. I'm not telling you to buy or sell or no or anything like that. What sessions do you prefer to trade, AM or PM? I'm better in the PM. I've taken some good trades in the morning, but I'm just better in the afternoon. Naruto says now the stream is lagging for me. Might be your internet. Well, if one person lags, then it might just be you. But if everybody lags, then it's me. But anyway. Anyway, I started another book today as well. I purchased this one, man, maybe like a month or two ago. I think, if I remember correctly, it was recommended by Ryan Holiday, and it was either this one or a different one. But either way it goes, I got a book called Thoughts of a Philosophical Fighter Pilot by Jim Stockdale. Now, this was written quite a bit of time ago. It was in the 80s, I think. I lied. 1995. Okay. But let me just read this to you real quick. The about the author page. Booked out for 3 minutes on my end, back and everything is good. Okay. So James Stockdale, again, the author, Vice Admiral James Bond Stockdale. Let's see. Shot down on September 19th, 1965 during a mission over North Vietnam. He spent 7.5 years as a prisoner of war. And despite torture, intimidation, 4 years of solitary confinement, he refused to capitulate, even earning the grudging respect of his captors. He ultimately received 26 combat decorations, including 2 Distinguished Flying Crosses, 3 Distinguished Service Medals, 4 Silver Stars, 2 Purple Hearts, and a Congressional Medal of Honor, the nation's highest award for valor. He had the distinction of being the only 3-star officer in the history of the Navy to wear both aviator wings and the Medal of Honor. He retired from the military in 1979 to become yada 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 yada. So the guy was a absolute complete badass. So I think he died in California in 2005 at the age of 81. But it's pretty decent so far. Now the language is a little bit more sophisticated. It's not the easiest read, but hey, if you're someone who likes to read books and you don't mind big words and a little bit of outdated verbiage, then you'll be okay. You will be okay. We want to see the dollar start to fly here in just a minute. We ought to. Let's see. The central theme of this book is how man can rise with dignity to prevail in the face of adversity. So I think it's pretty good. I think adversity, I mean, traders face adversity. We face ourselves and we face the market as well. So again, we want to see emphasis on the dollar here. We want to see explosive upside. So there's the alert. That means we've got it. That means we've gotten at least one tick above the line, which is the exact level on that daily 105.631. So now we are above that, and you can see here that clearly a rise in the dollar is continuing to push the S&P lower. Make sense? But yeah, majority of the moves today I think are done. I don't think anything's going to be exciting for this afternoon. Interesting. I think so. Like, here's the thing, man. I don't know how people in general don't have a lot. Coming back to what we talked about earlier about how people live their life aimlessly, they don't have goals, dreams, ambitions, all that. You know, how do you do that? How do you not constantly want to work for something or towards something? And it doesn't have to be money, it doesn't have to be power. It could still be personal development. It could be your way of thinking. You could constantly be doing, you know, something, working on yourself, whether it's working out or, you know, on your body or on your mind. And people who don't do that, I don't know how they do it. How are you not bored out of your mind? Does that make sense? Like, what do you do? What do you do? Scroll on Instagram, scroll on Twitter, and then scroll on Facebook. When, you know what I mean? Like, how do you just live every day that way? I would be so bored and depressed. And I think that's why a lot of people do have anxiety and depression, because you don't do anything. You don't do anything. You got to do something. You know, you got to have to constantly be working towards something greater, something bigger. And those people who don't, I don't know how they do it. I'm cool, man. I'm just chilling. Not doing anything. Nah, I'd be too bored with myself. I'd be too bored. But I think what I'd like to do, if it were me, what I'd like to do, if I were to, let's say, pass next week, You know, if the doctor was like, yo, John, next Wednesday, you're done. You're done. I'd say, all right. Tomorrow, what I would want to do is I would want to take all of these books, every book that I have, and I'd want to go back to my high school. And I would want to donate all of the books I have to the detention center. And be like, look, when these kids are in detention, don't let them just not do shit. Don't let them just sit there and do nothing. Like, let them pick up a book. Or some of them, you know, are they going to rip the pages out and, you know, probably draw dicks on the cover and write fuck you and everything? Like, all right, yeah, some of them might do that because that's just what teenagers do. But at least give them the opportunity to read something that can potentially change their life. You know what I mean? And I would give all this shit away. All of it. Every last book. And I would hope that after I pass, that those books hopefully change people's lives, you know? I wouldn't want to donate it to a public library. But it would be to the high school, maybe some to middle school, but mostly it would be high school. That's what I'd probably do. You know what? I was gonna show you my statue. Let me go grab that real quick. It's in the other room. So I'll be right back. Do I have my be right back thing? Yeah. I'll be back in 2 seconds, guys. All right, I'm back. Told you it wouldn't take that long. Am I going to a convention? No, I'm not. That's why I had to cut lots of people out of my life, and all they did was party and drink. That's not living. It was like living a life without growth. Exactly. I agree. Well, I did party for a little bit, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. 21 and 22, yeah. Yeah, we won't spend too much time on that. I remember, dude, we used to get pizza, pepperoni and bacon with ranch, and we would just get trashed and eat. Gained a lot of weight doing that. But anyway, let me show you this owl I have real quick. This is a small statue. It's really for like probably a garden, but look at this. Nice. It's an owl, right? And it's just a statue, and it's like kind of goldish a little bit, and he just sits on top of the bookshelf in the other room. Not this room, but in the other one, right? So he sits on top of the bookshelf, and that's it. But you know, why have shit like this? Well, my grandma on my dad's side, she had a bunch of shit like this in her yard. So she had like statues and all kind of weird shit. But the 4 stoic virtues, right? Justice, wisdom, courage, and temperance, something like that. The owl represents wisdom. You know what I mean? And philosophy is basically the love of wisdom. So when I have this sitting on top of my bookshelf, you know, when I walk by it and I see it, it reminds me to gain wisdom. Gain wisdom. Bible talks about it too. I don't know which verse it is, but I know that there's wisdom in the Bible, and it says, you know, be wise and not foolish. So why is it that we don't continuously seek wisdom? I don't know. I don't know, man. And real quick, we'll end it here in about 10 minutes or so. But if you've liked today's conversation so far and discussion so far, really, do me a favor. Oh, I gotta get my fucking button doesn't work. There we go. Hit the subscribe button and like the video as well. Again, it helps the algorithm. It helps get me on the algorithm so we can get in front of more people. We can get more viewers on here and have a lot more fun. Okay, it's free to do. You just hit the like button. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Just take your mouse, hit the like button, and that's it. So the dollar, we have hit 105.65, so just barely over that 105.63 level again, which is from that daily time frame. Okay, so we have traded up and into that. So look at today's candle, man. We haven't had a candle like that in a while. So we have finally met into that, and then equally the S&P traded lower. So very, very nice. And we're seeing that continuation lower here for the indices. See, aren't you glad we didn't try to buy that bottom in here? Straight down. Straight down. And that would have not been good. But yeah, that's pretty much all that I got for you guys. So if you have any questions, now is the time. Or I may end up having a small lunch here in just a minute. But it's up to you. It is up to you. British pound trading below that low. And I did take a screenshot of this up day in here. I had a screenshot as we were trading up. I highlighted this up candle here. And I said the idea is that when we came up into this, we would roll down into the 18s. So we spent a lot of time in there, but eventually we did run into that, which is cool. So if I can remember, I'll show you guys another time. Because I take so many screenshots, I'd have to go find it. I don't know where it's at. That was on the 27th. So I'd have to go probably back in my computer and look for it. But that's pretty much everything. We covered Australian dollar, we covered New Zealand, we covered dollar index, we talked a little bit about British pound, and then we covered the indices as well. So that's really it, man. No sense in doing anything today. Long's just getting absolutely massacred. You're welcome, Naruto. Appreciate you for being here. So if we don't have any questions, then I will see you guys tomorrow. Where did you learn to trade? Dude, I learned to trade through time and experience and a lot of different people. A lot. I've had people teach me privately. I've had people, I've learned a couple things from YouTube, a couple things from Twitter. I mean, I've read books, I've taken courses. I've been in this for 9 years. You know, I'm in my 9th year. So it's a plethora of different mentors, different people, different books, different videos, different courses. So there's not like one person or two people. It's a, you know, just vast number. Okay. That'll be it. So, all right, I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. You have a blessed day.